Sometimes love begins with something so small, so gentle that you don't even realize your life has just changed. That's exactly how it started for Jannik Sinner and Laila Hasanovic. A single, soft moment that grew into the love story the world is talking about today. And it all began with a smile. It happened at a charity event in Monaco, the kind of glamorous evening where nobody expects anything real to happen. Yannick was there quietly, almost shyly, standing in the corner trying not to draw attention. And then she saw him. Layla, glowing in a simple but elegant dress, noticed a man who looked so wonderfully out of place that she couldn't stop herself from smiling at him. Not a posed smile, not a professional smile, but a gentle, warm smile that feels like sunlight. And that smile changed everything. He smiled back, soft, unsure, but honest. They walked toward each other as if the universe gently pushed them together. Their conversation began awkwardly adorable. Yannick spoke softly, talking about the event, asking her if she enjoyed these things. Layla laughed lightly, telling him she preferred quiet places, little cafes, and deep conversations. Something about her voice, her eyes, the way she listened, it pulled him in instantly. They spoke for only a few minutes, but something magical settled between them. A softness, a spark, a promise neither of them understood yet. From that night on, their connection grew quietly. No public drama, no social media attention, just two hearts finding each other in private moments. Late night voice notes, shared photos of sunsets, tiny jokes that only they understood. Whenever Layla visited him during tournaments, she didn't need to be seen. She'd just slip into the stands, smile at him when he looked up, and that smile alone was enough to calm his entire world. And then came the Nitto Finals, a night full of pressure, adrenaline, lights, and history. But after Yannick held the trophy, after the cameras stopped flashing, his mind wasn't on the victory. His heart was somewhere else. He already knew what he was going to do. Later that night, he took Layla to a quiet rooftop overlooking the glowing city of Turin. The air was cool, the lights shimmered like tiny diamonds, and the city around them felt strangely still. Like it was holding its breath for their moment, Yannick reached for her hands, and suddenly he wasn't the champion anymore. He was just a man in love, trying not to tremble. He told her she made his life softer, sweeter, calmer. He told her that every message from her, every smile from her, every moment beside her made his world feel whole in a way he never thought possible. His voice wavered, his eyes softened, and then he reached into his pocket. Layla's breath caught instantly. Her eyes widened. Her hand flew to her chest, and before she could even whisper his name, he was already on one knee, looking up at her with a tenderness she will never forget. He asked her the question his heart had been holding for months, and she didn't wait, not even a second. Her yes came out in a trembling whisper, then a laugh, then a tear, then a shaky, joyful yes again and again. As she threw her arms around him, they held each other under the Italian sky, laughing, crying, swaying gently as if the whole world had disappeared. For a few minutes, nothing existed except their heartbeat, their embrace, and the promise that their lives had just changed forever. But their night didn't end there. After the rooftop proposal, Yannick had one more surprise planned. A simple, intimate date made for two people who loved quiet moments. He took her to a hidden little restaurant in Turin, one with dim lights, soft music, and a private corner just for them. The owner, a kind old man who admired Yannick's humility, greeted them with warm smiles, and brought out a special dinner he prepared just for the occasion. They sat close, holding hands across the table, unable to stop smiling. They talked about everything and nothing, their first impressions of each other, the moment they knew they were falling in love, the tiny things they adored about each other. Layla teased him about how nervous he looked on the rooftop. He teased her about how she almost cried before he even opened the box. They laughed softly, touched each other's hands, and leaned closer every time their hearts pulled them forward. After dinner, they walked through the quiet streets of Turin. It was one of those perfect nights where the air feels warm, even though it's cold, simply because you're with the right person. Layla held his arm, resting her head on his shoulder as they strolled past twinkling lights and cobblestone paths. Every so often, Jannik would stop just to kiss her forehead, just to look at her, just to soak in the moment as if he never wanted it to end. They stopped at a small bridge overlooking the water, where the reflections of the city danced like magic. Layla whispered that the night felt like a dream. Yannick smiled and told her, "It's real. Everything from now on is real." She closed her eyes, breathed in the cool night air, and kissed him. Slowly, softly, with the kind of love that grows deeper every day. By the time they returned to their hotel, they both knew this was the beginning of something bigger than they ever imagined. Not just love, not just a relationship, but a future built on trust, tenderness, and moments like this that feel like scenes from the sweetest movie. Yannick Sinner may have won the Nitto Finals, but his greatest victory came later that night, when the woman who changed his life said yes, held his hand, and walked into the future with him, heart fully open, ready for forever.